Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Jeffrey. This is the Inquisitive Universe. If you're here for the first time, please, you're welcome. Today we want to talk about the Itel S25 and the Itel S25 Ultra. Yeah, these are two current trending phones from the stables of Itel, and people have been asking, Jeff, how you see the S25 and the S25 Ultra? And I'm like, hold on guys, I'm going to check it out. And I went to the shop, I've handled the phones, and I'm here to share my perspective with you. Now, first things first, the Itel S series used to be known for its cameras, right? Either selfie or main camera. This year, Itel are ditching all that, and they are saying, you know what, we want to give you display. So this is a display-centric phone, which is quite odd to me. I have seen people buy camera-centric phones. I've seen people buy gaming phones. I've seen people buy 5G phones. I've never seen people buy display phones, because that's mostly what this phone offers, as well as 2 years of software updates. But is that really a big feature? I don't know. Companies have been doing that without advertising it, but it's a big deal for Itel. It's a first. So credit where it's due. Let's clap for them. They're improving. Yeah. So let's proceed. So these are budget phones with upper mid-range AMOLED displays. That's a key selling point. So without wasting any further time, let's just go straight into the review. This video was made in partnership with Pointech. Pointech is the one-stop gadget shop for all your tech needs, from smartphones, smartphone accessories, games, content creation tools, lighting, and so much more. When it comes to gadgets, we've got you covered. Our staff are here to make your shopping very easy and stress-free. So if you live in Warri, Efrun, Ughelli, Sapele, Abraka, Patani, Yanagwa, and environs, please visit us today at the Delta Mall, Efrun Roundabout. This is a place where quality meets affordability. Pointech, phones, and more. We're diving in. We're going straight to the body. Now, both phones are made of plastic. Plastic frame, plastic back. The back is actually a fingerprint magnet, so be warned. Yeah. So another thing we need to look at is the camera island. I mean, when I saw the S25 Ultra, the camera island jumped at me. I was like, I have seen this before somewhere. I don't want to mention the brand, but you already know. You already do. I've seen it before somewhere. And for me, I think I prefer the camera island on the S25 as compared to the one on the S25 Ultra. To me, it looks messy. To me. This is my opinion. This is Jeffrey's opinion. It's not fact. But to me, it looks messy. The Itel S25 actually has what looks like a more coherent camera island. Vertical, everything on a straight line, simple as that. Less is more when it comes to design language. If you've done anything that pertains to design, they always say that less is more. Don't crowd everything in there. So let's move on. Let's talk about other stuff. Now, the Itel S25 is actually slightly heavier and a bit bulkier. The Itel S25 Ultra is thinner and lighter. The Itel S25 Ultra also enjoys IP64 water protection, which the Itel S25 does not enjoy, and it also has an RGB lighting that gives you red, green, and blue, white for when you're playing your games, when a notification comes in, when a call comes in, etc. Could that be something that sways you over to the S25 Ultra? I don't know. Please let me know in the comments. So let's move on. Let's talk about the display. Now, both phones have the same display. 6.78-inch AMOLED display that has a resolution of 1080p. 1400 nits brightness. And then they are promising 120 Hz, which, if you people know me, you people know how I feel about 120 Hz refresh rate on budget phones. This one only works in the settings menu. If you leave the settings menu and come out, it's 60 Hz. I'm actually glad it's one of Nigeria's, in fact, most of Nigeria's biggest content creators are the ones that are saying. So it's not just Jeffrey, right? Before some people watch this and call me a hater, it's not just Jeffrey that's saying this. Please go and look at other big guys. They will tell you that the 60 Hz refresh rate is what this phone is working with. You only see 120 Hz in the settings menu. So again, I've always told people, if you handle 120 Hz refresh rate on flagship phones or flagship killers like my Poco F5, for example, and then you go handle it on a budget phone, there's a world of difference. Yeah. So let's move on. The display on this smartphone is actually very good and it's very sharp. The visuals are crisp and the colors are okay. It's a good display, but the 120 Hz refresh rate, yeah. So let's move on. Let's talk about the operating system now. I have been using the Itel P55 5G for a while. I've also done a review on it, and the Itel OS on it, it's actually slim, it's trimmed, and it runs smoothly with very little ads. Now, I know some of you may be used to better features on other operating systems, but if you can actually get used to the Itel OS, I can't believe I'm saying this, but you will actually like it. You'll enjoy it. right? And they are promising 2 years of software updates, so hopefully they keep their promise. Now for the performance, the processor here, there's a Unisoc T620, which is actually a slightly faster version of the T606 and the T610. Same processor with a higher clock speed, so this will give you around 300k, 320,000 on Antutu when it comes to performance, which is firmly in the budget range. So which means that this SoC will perform on the same level as the Helio G85, G88, G91, G92, Snapdragon 680. So it will perform on that level, which means you can play your Free Fire, your Genshin Impact, your PUBG Mobile, your Call of Duty Mobile, you know, whatever game, you know, it wasn't about that football game I used to play a long time ago. You can play all of those, but please make sure to keep it at medium settings. No go do pass yourself, right? Don't go and try and play this on ultra high graphics, ultra high definition graphics. You will be looking for trouble. If the phone heats up, please put it at a level that it can handle. The processor is decent, it's budget, right? And I'm glad that they advertised it too, so you know that it's a budget phone, it's a budget processor. Don't go overboard, right? Use it at the level at which it is designed for. So let's move on. Let's talk about the cameras. Now there is a whole mumble of cameras on the back here. You should only be interested in the main camera, the 50MP camera. All of the other cameras there, from the auxiliary to the macro to the 0.0.0 something MP, you're really not going to be using them. The main camera is there. The main camera is decent in good lighting. Anything other than good lighting, you may get mixed results, right? But in good lighting, it is very, very decent. Yeah, and it records videos of 1080p and 2K, that's 1440p at 30 fps. In the front, there's also a selfie camera of 32 megapixels, which is also very decent as well, provided that you take it in good lighting. Yeah, so let's move on. Let's talk about the sound. There's only a single firing loudspeaker here, and it's on the bottom, and it's neither here nor there for me. It's okay. It's decently loud. I think it's a bit too sharp, right? I think it's lacking, you know, a lot of bass on it, but again, that's my ear. Your own ear could be different, right? So for me, the audio from the loudspeaker, I'll give it a 5. That's for me. So let's move on. Let's talk about the 3.5mm jack. There is only it's only the S25 that has a 3.5mm jack. The S25 Ultra lacks that feature. So let's move on. Let's talk about the communications, and then of course there is a 3.5mm jack. I've said that already. There's a USB-C port, USB 2.0. It's a 4G phone. There's Bluetooth 5. There's Wi-Fi 5. There's GPS. There's NFC. And then for the sensors, there is an in-display fingerprint, because you know, AMOLED display and all that, accelerometer, proximity sensor, light, and all that. So you can find them, all of them here. The fingerprint sensor opens really fast when you put your finger to it. It's actually quite snappy once you register your fingerprint to it. And of course, finally, let's talk about the batteries. There is a 5000 mAh battery here with 18 watts of fast charge. It charges around an hour and 45-50 minutes to slightly over 2 hours, depending on if you're using it or if you let it charge. So let's talk about the pricing. Now the Itel S25, the 8 128 gig variant, goes for 204,500 on Pointech, and the Itel S25 Ultra, the 8 128 variant, goes for 236,500, and the 8 256 goes for 249,800 naira. So the Itel S series are a group of budget phones with upper mid-range displays. So basically, if you are buying this one, it means you are buying it to consume content for the most part. The display is crisp, the visuals are sharp, the colors are okay. Everything else on this smartphone is budget. The performance is budget, you know, the body, the build is budget, the comms is 4G, budget at this point in time. It's very hard to see mid-range phones just sporting entirely 4G these days. And then the battery and all that, the 18 watts fast charge is what you'd expect on a budget phone. Anything other than that is pushing the Mickey. I think the pricing is a bit too sharp, but then again, AMOLED display, the 120 Hz, please disregard that, right? So yeah, that's the video. Big thanks to Michael Onu for subscribing to my membership. 4 months now. If you want to support me, please make sure to subscribe for my membership. If there's a lot of people on there, I think I'll start creating members only content. Yeah, so please make sure to like, subscribe, and share small actions like yours that help small channels like mine grow. And of course, my name is Jeffrey. I'll see you in the next one.